In this video, we're going to show you how to mount an NVISAGE N1 launch monitor to one of our Pro enclosures using a frame mounting kit. Your mounting kit will include a base plate, clamps, screws, and 2 Allen keys for assembly. And make sure that you have a ladder that's tall enough for you to be able to reach the top of your frame. The first step is to remove the flaps from the enclosure so that we can put up our clamps. You'll need one clamp that has a rounded edge and one that's squared, and the square clamp will go on the bottom side of your frame. You'll use these large screws to secure your clamps to the frame. So put your clamp over the frame of the enclosure and use the large screws to lightly secure. If one clamp is mounted not on the fitting and instead on the actual EMT pipe, you'll want to use this included spacer and mount it on the bottom side of the clamp before you put your base plate on to make sure that the base plate sits level. Next, we're going to loosely attach the base plate to the clamps, making sure that the Carl's Place C logo is readable from the ground. Use the medium screws to mount the base plate to the clamps. So what we're doing by attaching the base plate loosely right now is getting the clamps aligned properly with the holes on the base plate. And then we're going to take that and make sure that everything is centered over our hitting area. In this case, we're going to be centered right on the middle of our enclosure. And then we are going to tighten the clamps down to secure those in place. So now that we have the clamps right where we want them to be, centered on the enclosure, we are going to remove this base plate so that we can fold the flaps back up and over. The next step is to cut holes in the fabric of your enclosure where the mounting plate screws would go. We already have holes in this enclosure from a previous installation, but you'll want to fold the flaps over, cut the holes, and just make sure that you are avoiding cutting any of the finish edges that might be on the flaps. The next step is reattaching that base plate through the holes that we just cut in the flaps. So at this point, we're done. We have our frame mount up. So all you have to do is mount your launch monitor right to this and you are going to be all set to go. So the first step for the NVISAGE is to take this mounting plate off. To do that, all we have to do is remove these 2 screws. So once those screws are off, simply slide that over and lift it right off. So as you're putting the plate from the NVISAGE up, you want to make sure that you're double checking that these screw holes are in the front. And then there are 6 screws. So hand tighten that to start. And we're using the small screws from the package to secure this down. So the last step is taking our NVISAGE, putting it on the back, sliding it into place, and then reattaching the screws that secure it to the mount. Once you have the NVISAGE up, all you have to do is connect your Ethernet cable and the power, and you're done with the mounting process. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions on the mounting process, please give our customer service team a call, leave a comment below, and we will see you in the next one.